And of course, as a disclaimer, the views, opinions, and thoughts expressed by the moderator and the speaker are solely their own and does not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, and position of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers or any of its leadership. And to introduce our first speaker is a professional civil structural engineer with more than 8 years of experience in design, supervision, management of various residential and commercial projects. He is a registered civil engineer, a master plumber, and a certified project management professional or PMP with familiarity on different structural codes and software. He is a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering graduate with uh, with cum laude and graduate of University of Eastern Philippines. And he is also the owner or the business owner of this RDB Windows and Construction Materials Trading. I know him because he is my friend. We are batchmate during our mega review of preparation during our board exam. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our first speaker for today, Engineer Romer Ray T. Saliling. Engineer Romer?
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Engineer Benji. I was so flattered. And um, can I share my screen now, or so
Yes,
I can? Okay. So thank you for having me, and this is my opportunity, and I hope na ang share ko sa inyo ngayon is kahit papaano is makapag bigay sa inyo ng insight and uh, to build your courage also to start your business in the Philippines. So as you can see, my question dyan, naka-flash screen. Ang tanong is bilang OFW, ano ang end goal mo? Actually, this question is not directed to the participants, but this question is directed to myself when uh, before I started my business. And this question actually leads me to creating what I have now, the RDB doors, windows, and construction materials trading, which I established year 2020. Um, we are offering construction materials trading and aluminum doors, windows, and installation. Our service area is in Catarman, Northern Samar. So, maganda ba ang hardware business? Kung akong tatanungin nyo in my own perspective, maganda siya kasi hindi siya nabubulok ang product. Laging nasa trend because hindi natatapos ang development, construction, and repair. Madaling aralin ng mga product dahil related sa profession natin. Ang profit margin is around 15 to 30%. Benefit also if you are a contractor at the same time because makakamura ka sa materials dahil dealers or wholesale price yung makukuha mo. And then, daily ang pasok ng income. So to give you an overview of my humble business, RDB Doors, Windows, and Construction Materials Trading was established as a sole proprietorship in July 2020, offering construction materials, glass, and aluminum supply installation by yours truly. I am a civil engineer by profession and an OFW in Qatar. I established this because I believe that during that time, I believe that working overseas cannot be done indefinitely. And I think most of you naman will agree to that. And that there will come a moment na an OFW must return home. And that the best alternative for me is to continue working as an entrepreneur. So with the minimal funds I have and strong passion, determination, devotion, and affirmation, and of faith in God, and of course the support of my family, I decided to take action and start my business in July 2020. So this is my humble store when I started in July 2020. As you can see, maliit lang siya, simple lang, and uh, konti lang yung stocks actually. Then presently, ito yung shop ko. Kahit papaano is improved naman and there's stocks already. So for 3 years, I think I can say the business is good. So to give you the backstory on how did I come up to establishing my business, I was 5 years working as an OFW in Qatar before I started it. And then I have yearly vacation, ipon for 1 year, dun ubus ang pera pag uwi. I think most of OFW makaka-relate naman dito. Hindi naman totally ubos, but I think we spend more or more much for savings pag uwi tayo kasi sabi natin sa sarili natin, isang beses lang naman tayo umuwi. Then babalik tayo sa abroad, back to zero. Parang back to zero tayo lagi, di ba? So this cycle continues until I came to realization that working overseas is hindi forever. Kahit pa paano is makapag-establish tayo sa Pinas because eventually we'll go home no matter what, planned or unplanned. So I decided to resign in 2019 with the little savings and separation I have. Then in July 2020, I established my hardware business. So this is me. I think this picture taken already 1 year. I was hands-on during that time. Then after a year of running my business hands-on, this came, my former boss in Qatar contacted me if I asked if I'm willing to go back in his office. Actually, pinag-isipan ko to ng maayos kasi during the time, 1 year na tumatakbo yung business. And my concern is, pag iwanan ko to, baka hindi ma-manage ng maayos. But I took it as a positive opportunity. Sabi ko, it's a win-win situation because I have a business already running. And then at the same time, I can potentially earn. And may earn ko, I can use it to fund in my business if kakailanganin pa. So I eventually decided to accept the offer and I delegate my sister to manage my business because that time is exactly walang job yung sister ko. So I asked her to manage my business while I'm away. And in December 2021, I rejoined the company in Qatar. So presently, I am running, or as I call it, I am overviewing my business from afar with the help of my sister as a manager. And my parents as well was there. So at the same time, I'm earning from working. So how did I start my business? So I started small. I have no prior experience in putting up business. I don't have idea. Wala akong idea kung where to find my supplier. I don't have idea where to find client or customers. I have minimal capital funds due to depleting funds already because when I decided to go back home, January, hindi pa eventually right away nag-start ako. It took me few months to build really a courage to start it. But I have a strong determination kasi sabi ko, yun ang reason ko bakit umuwi. So eventually pinanindigan ko talaga yung decision ko and then started it. So when I started, almost 4 to 5 months of no income, no negative earnings pa. So lahat ng pera is palabas. Si yun naman yung most ng business, di ba? Pag mag-start ka, you'll never know kung you'll never try. So I almost gave up due a few months of no earnings, negative no client. But eventually, luckily, after a few months, slowly customers coming little by little, they buy from me in those items na ni-require nila na wala sa akin, I order it next time. So eventually, nakukuha ko na yung flow ng saleable item. And few glass window projects also came. So the profit I gained to it, I used to buy an inventory. So slowly, my stocks grow. And as my stocks grow, my customers also increase because yung hinahanap nila is na-provide ko na. Then I found my suppliers na big help in making my business thrive. So I started small, but I have a big dream when I started it. So how to start and run a hardware business in my perspective. So I come up with the list, and itong list na to, hinimay-himay ko talaga the process on how did I start and run my business. Okay. So first is find the right location or spot, find the right supplier, establish a good long-term business relationship with your supplier, make your business transaction with your supplier traceable with other supplier, register your business, know or you study your market, market your business or provide social media presence, then reinvest profit. I call it capital plus profit rotation. And then consistently monitor your business using useful apps or make inventory at least 2 times a year. I will explain it briefly one by one so you can have an idea how to do it. So first is find the right location. I think it's a basic requirement naman to any business na you need to find a location. Okay. So first choose the location with high traffic and daanan ng tao. Choose the location which are along the road. Bakit? Kasi if it's daanan ng tao, especially if it's along the road, so it's a free advertisement na eh. Kumbaga yung mga dumadaan doon eventually it will be your potential customers. Then choose the location where there is nearby development or the area is to be developed. So as much as possible, if you plan to choose a location, piliin nyo yung may mga nearby development kasi that client is your potential customers already, yung mga nagpapa-construction. Then if you don't have your own location and plan on renting only, choose the one na hindi masyado mahal, like around 5 to 15K range, para hindi kayo mahirapan sa overhead because this amount is malaking bawas to sa fund nyo, especially pag mag-start pa lang yung business. Then try not to focus on the aesthetics of your shop at first to the point na you used most of your initial fund to it, but rather use it for your stocks or inventory. Kasi yung iba na overwhelmed, sabi magtataya ako ng business and then pinapaganda nila masyado yung shop to the point na naubos na yung fund nila. And hanggang sa wala na silang fund to buy the stocks and inventory. So what will happen? If you don't have stocks, you don't have sales. If you don't have sales, wala kang fund to use it for operational expenses, and eventually the business will not will fail. Next is find the right supplier. So how do you do it? Build a list of suppliers, ask for quotations, and compare and select the cheapest. Contact the main products like Boysen, Tabis, Apo Cement, Neltex, Rain or Shine, Ruyo, Firefly, Focus, and etc. The basic products na ginagamit natin sa building. You can contact them on their FB page or website, and you can call them and ask if they have agents in your area. And normally, magbibigay naman sila ng contact of their agents or wholesale dealer near your area. So while the business is running, some agents will come to you. This is the benefit also having the location along the road because madali kang makikita ng mga agents and they can offer their product to you. And these agents from direct distributor, normally prices are low, so grab it. Because itong mga wholesale suppliers or direct distributors is naghahanap din na sila ng customers. And it so happen na yung customers nila is mga business owners din, mga hardware owners. So ayan sila is nagpapaikot sila ng mga agents every area. So ask if they can give you terms in the future. Yung terms explained ko to in the next slide. So ask if they can give you, and then like after a few consistent purchases. excuse. If yes, that's the good indication. Then if not, and you can pass the supplier. Having the right supplier will help your business strive. So next is establish a good long-term business relationship with your supplier. So how do you do that? Buy consistently, even in small quantity, because normally for the third purchases, they require cash on delivery. Then afterwards, they will give you a benefit of the terms. Yung terms, ito yung sa hardware term, business term, ginagamit is sa product layaway. Or in simple explanation, ipapautang nila yung product nila for a specific term like 15, 30, 45, 60, or even 90 days. Depends on your purchasing record with them. So this will help your business grow because the more stock of item you have, the more profit you can gain at no additional capital infusion needed. So think about it. If you have 5 suppliers already and lahat yon nagpapaterm sa'yo with a specific term limit and yung items nila is nabenta mo within the period na ni-require nila, so what you can gain? You gain the profit, right? Without even releasing additional fund. So you leverage the term benefits from the supplier. In some suppliers also, you can even return the non-purchase materials and stock in your store na under terms or sa kanila and exchange to their fast-selling items. So what a benefit, right? In these suppliers, they can give you to as much as hundreds of thousands of pesos in even millions as long as you have good records already with them and may trust sila na you can sell their products. Next is make your business transaction with your suppliers traceable with other suppliers. So how do you do that? Open a checking account under your business name. Make your transaction payment through bank transaction or check. Why this is important? Because this will leave a record of your business transaction and will be useful in the future for other potential supplier if you apply for terms and even for a bank loan for future expansion of your business. So I have here a sample of the screenshot of my checking account na ginagamit ko sa business ko. So as you can see, there's a long list because all my transactions is ginagawa ko through bank transaction. So why this is important also? Because normally supplier do background check of your business with other suppliers through bank record. And if they see your transactions are good, then they can offer you terms up to 90 days to even the costing hundreds of thousands to even millions of pesos. Next is register your business. Not only it is good to run a business in a proper way, but you can attract also potential suppliers if you have the right business documentation. And trust me, no supplier would want to transact a business establishment that is not registered. So as much as possible, try to register your business within 3 months after opening. So these are the basic list of documents na requirement when you plan ready to start your business. These are the barangay permit or certification, the DTI permit, which you can get online now. Next, BIR registration. Fourth is mayor's permit. And fifth is the fire permit. Hindi ko lang sure if every municipality or city, there's a specific requirements na nire-require. So much better para mas clear yung requirements, you can visit the BPLO or Business Processing and Licensing Office in every municipality or city kung saan kayo mag-plan to establish. So they can give you a full list of requirement. But as much as I know, this is the basic documents na kailangan mo i-comply. So pay your taxes on time. Pay your taxes on time dahil para maiwasan ng penalties. Iwas ka ba din sa mga surprise inspection ng mga relevant authorities? Not paying taxes on time can jeopardize your business and can lead to worse closure. So huwag kayong mag-alala kung sabihin nyo hindi pa kayo gamay sa mga taxes because we have what we call bookkeeper na pwede nyong i-hire to guide you to maintain your records and taxes paid right on time. And normally, nagre-require lang naman sila ng minimal fee. So kung di nyo pagamay, especially pag mag-start pa lang in a business, you can hire the bookkeepers to guide you. And paying your taxes on time is good for your business record and the potential suppliers, which can help your business grow and expand. Next is know or study your market. So alamin niyo yung mga madalas bilhin ng customers at yun ang i-provide nyo. Know your competitors, compare the prices with your competitors. Check if you can provide what they have. At least you check, you check these prices of your competitor suppliers at para magkaroon kayo ng idea on how you price your products para meron kayong pricing strategy. Kasi baka ma-over profit nyo na yung product nyo, hindi nyo alam na sobrang mahal na pala, so walang bibili sa inyo. And then mababa naman masyado yung kwan nyo, ililit yung kita nyo. At least if you have the idea based on your competitors, you can have a range, you will have a pricing strategy. Ang kwento ko nga dito nung nag-start pa lang ko, I even pretend to be a customer sa mga existing hardware owners na baga nagbe-pretend ako na customers, then nag-aasa ko ng materials prices. Di alam is nagko-canvas lang pala ako, baga inaalam ko yung pricing nila para at least may idea ko on how to price my product. So these techniques, kumbaga it will come to you naturally na lang pag nandun ka na sa situation. And this help really, even a small thing. So build a good relationship with your customers so they will repeat buying from you. This is important also because hindi maganda na once lang bumili sa yung customers. Kumbaga at mas as possible, try na makapag-repeat buying sila from you because hindi sustainable kung lahat ng customers mo once lang bibili sa'yo. Right? Kasi, halimbawa, isang beses lang sila, hindi na sila babalik. It means it's something not good in your service. So, provide a good customer service. Sabihin nyo yung mga staff nyo na huwag sungitan yung customers or pamper as much as possible. Offer extra also to your customers like free delivery and discounts. Kasi yung mga customers is naghahanap sila ng convenient. Example, if you have a competitor hardware, mas mahal ka ng konti sa kanila, like 10 pesos only, but hindi sila nagpo-provide ng free delivery, so take it to your advantage because trust me, they will come to you because they are looking for conveniency. So next is market your business and provide social media presence. I think lahat naman ng business ngayon, they have social media and this is good. You can take it to your advantage because wala naman tong subscription fee, walang bayad. It's free advertisement. So i-market nyo yung business nyo para malaman ng mga tao yung service na in-offer nyo. Also, you're not limiting your business on the area kung saan kayo nagtayo lang Kumbaga, if you have a social media presence, you market it well in social media, at least you can get a potential customers on nearby areas, nearby city, nearby barangay. So, nawawiden nyo yung customer base nyo, right? Next is reinvest profit. I call it capital plus profit rotation. So, this is my favorite. So, as much as possible, take less within your business money. Kumbaga, kurut-kurut lang. Spend your profit. For me, spend 50% of your profit and reinvest. Kasi what will happen if you use 100% of your profit? Yes, the business will run, but it will be stagnant. It will be the same for a long period of time. Kung maliit ka nung nag-umpisa ka, maliit ka rin for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years because it will not grow. What will happen naman if you invest more than of your profit? That means you spend more than 100% of your profit. That means you use already the capital, right? And if you use some of your capital only, lumiliit yung capacity mo to buy your inventory or stock. And once lumiit yung capacity mo to buy the stocks, liliit yung customers mo because hindi mo na, may mga stock ka na hindi na provide sa customers. And then, once lumiit yung customers mo, liliit yung sales mo. Once lumiit yung sales mo, liliit yung profit mo. And once na lumiit yung profit mo, you will not have a fund for the operational expenses of your business, and eventually your business will fail. So as much as possible, uh, ibalik nyo yung uh, around 50% of the profit kahit paano. Kahit maliit lang, may bumabalik dun eh. Ng baga, capital plus profit, kahit maliit yan, basta palagian, eventually lalaki yan. Hindi mo mamamalayan. For 1 year, 2 years, lumalaki na pala yung business mo. So let your capital and profit rotate and grow. Next is consistently monitor your business using useful apps. Make inventory at least 2 times a year. So install point of sales or they call it POS to monitor your sales daily. Yung POS or point of sales, ito yung ginagamit ng mga business establishments para magkaroon sila ng overview of their business, kung ilan pa ba yung stocks nila, ilan yung sales nila daily, ilan yung mga item na kulang na, and mga kailangan nilang i-orders. So you will have an overview of the business itself. Next is make Google Excel sheet to record and monitor your sales and expenses daily. So at least daily, you record it para ma-idea ko kung magkano lang yung pumapasok na profit, and then alam mo kung magkano lang yung range ng spend mo. So this is the useful apps na ginagamit ko, yung Loyverse, Free POS, and Google Sheet. Ang kagandahan nito is these are all free apps. So there's no subscription needed. So yung Loyverse Free POS, ito yung screenshot niya. As you can see, you will have an overview of the inventory of your stocks. So alam mo kung ilan pa yung stocks ng store mo or shop. Ang kagandahan pa rin nito is every day nagsisend sila ng email notifications ng mga low stocks na or mga item na wala mo. So you will have an idea kung ano yung mga i-order mo next orders. Next is the Google Excel sheet. You can use this to record your monthly sales or daily sales para magkaroon ka ng sales report. And you can use it together with the Loyverse para, example, you will know in this month, halimbawa April 2020, mababa yung sales mo, and check it to the Loyverse kung ano yung mga item lang na nabili nung time na yon. Para next year, the same period of time, alam mo na kung ano yung order mo during the time. Kumbaga magkakaroon ka ng idea on your buying strategy with your supplier eh. Halimbawa naman yung August 2022, malakas yung benta, alamin mo, check mo dun sa Loyverse kung ano yung mga item na nabili during that time, and next year, the same period, yun yung focus mo sa pagbibili. So, you get it, you will have an idea is buying strategy monthly. You can record this also for in and out of the business money. So these two apps, this is the one I'm using to monitor my business kahit malayo ako. I'm not physically in the shop. I have the overview of my business. Baga, alam ko kung ano ng takbo ng negosyo. But this is also a combination of hiring a good manager. So if you have a good manager of your shop, and then you have these apps na alam mo ano yung overview ng business mo, so you can run the business even when you're not physically there. So as a closing note, eventually, need mo mag-delegate sa business mo, especially if it's growing. So your main job now will be the overview of your business, marketing, strategies to make your business become sustainable. Because starting a business is only a step. The main challenge is to run it and make it sustainable for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and many more years. So what I did when I start my business is I resigned, then I start, right? That is a riskier type. But if you are a conservative type, the best time for you to try your business idea is now while you are earning from being an OFW. Because let's be frank and honest, there is no assurance na pag magtayo ka o establish ka ng business mo, it automatically succeed because you'll never know when you'll never try. So if I can only advise and suggest, start while you're earning because at least if you fail, you still have your job, fall back on and try another idea or business until something works for you. And if you succeed, it's a win-win situation. You have your job at the same time, you have your business. Later on, you can determine by yourself when you really want to go home for good without any hesitation. So if you have an idea, build the courage to start it and make it happen because the only hindrance why we cannot get what we want is because we don't take action. So as I quote, if you want something you never had, you have to do something you never did. So thank you and yun lang po. I hope may nakuha kayong learnings kahit paano sa shinare ko on my journey on how did I start my business and run it. So thank you po.
All right. Thank you, Engineer Romare Saliling, for sharing your experience on how to start up a hardware business. And yeah, we encourage everyone to please raise your question by clicking the question log that I sent in the chat box. So yeah, Engineer Romer Saliling,
Yeah,
we
can I
are
stop?
actually receiving few questions. So yeah,
Okay.
are you ready? Okay. To ask the first question, what is the minimum required area for hardware business?
For me, wala naman masyadong, kumbaga, nung naghahanap ako, I don't see the standard dimension as long as works for you. Kung ma-stackan ka lang. And for me, 6 by 5 by 10, pwede na yun. Yung mga ganong area. Kasi yung shop ko ngayon, nung nag-start ako, it's only around 6 by 6 by 6, I think, or 6 by 5. Then eventually, nung medyo lumalaki na, nagdadagdag na lang ako ng area. Yung mga katabing shop ko doon, kinuha ko na. So, walang minimum requirement. Kumbaga, don't be pressured by this because start small. Kumbaga, kung ano yung nag-work sa'yo, yun ang start ko. Kumbaga, pwede na yung maliit lang muna kasi eventually, pag nag-start ka pa lang, konti pa lang yung fund mo eh. So, start with that small space requirements. So, 6 by
Ano
4 pwede na yun.
yeah. Engineer Romer, yung location ba ng hardware mo is binili mo talaga siya for that business only or dati nyo na siyang lupa?
No, actually, the existing business is nirent ko lang siya. Nirent ko siya. Itong location na to is rented even now. But eventually, I managed to buy one location for my stockyard on near lang sa shop na yan.
Okay. Okay, we have another question here, sir. So, what is your suggestion if there's a lot of hardware which are already established or the store nearby your place? So, what is your marketing strategy?
Actually, mayroon ng existing na I think 3 hardwares doon sa area ko, dun sa barangay. But na-surprise nga ako kasi even may malaking hardware na doon sa area is nag-click pa rin yung hardware ko. I think yung ginawa ko is that time wala silang mga free deliveries, mga ganun is mga discounts eh. So I took it as my advantage. So eventually they come from free. Na-surprise nga ako kasi when I offered the free delivery, uh, doon sila pumunta sa akin kumbaga. Don't be afraid kung may mga hardware na doon na malapit sa inyo kasi yung customers is naghahanap sila ng convenience. Kahit na mas mahal ka ng konti or sila kilala na, as long as you have good customer service, pinapamper nyo yung customers nyo, binibigyan nyo ng discounts, and then you offer extra, kahit mas malaki yung hardware na kompetensya mo, ikaw nag-start pa lang, but uh, habulin nyo yung isang suggestion is, kahit pa paano habulin nyo yung price nun. Wag, kumbaga, iparehas nyo lang, paano, dun sa, dun sa mga existing hardware na. Kasi yung mga customers, hindi naman yan specific lang sa kwan eh. Ayaw nga nila nung mga, halimbawa, matatagal na hardware kasi marami nang bumibili. So, baka hindi na sila naasikaso eh. So, ikaw, kung you provide good customer service, so sila ang pupunta sa'yo.
Okay.
Actually, may malaking hardware nga dun sa amin na warehouse na siya eh. But yung ayaw ng mga customers sa kanila is mahaba ng pila. Kumbaga, hindi na sila naasikaso. When I started it, kumbaga, pag pumupunta sila sa kanila, automatically may nag-assist kagad. So yung mga ganong strategies, it works.
Thank you for that, Engineer Romer. Actually, many are asking the same question.
Yeah.
So the question is, how much is the minimum capitalization to start a hardware business?
Yeah. Actually, nung nag-start ako, I my initial fund is around 400 to 500K. So may mga few stocks ka na doon. Pwede na yon to starting para kumbaga start yung mga initial stocks mo. And then habang tumatakbo na yung business mo, as I said, find the right suppliers. Kasi yung mga suppliers na yon eventually is tutulong sa iyo, kumbaga magpapaterm sila later on. Kumbaga pag nakuha mo na yung trust ng suppliers is magpapaterms na sila later on, and they can even give you they can even supply you the items to even hundreds of thousands pesos or millions. Kumbaga, start it with the around 400 to 500, then find the right suppliers na pwede magpa-term sa inyo para ma-leverage mo uh, terms benefit.
Okay. You mentioned earlier, right, in your presentation that 3 to 4 months na negative income yung
Yes.
business mo. So, what motivated you to continue your business?
Because sabi ko that time, this is what I want eh. Dahil umuwi ako eh. Kumbaga, if this, kasi may fund pa naman ako natitira, sabi ko, if this will fail, at least I tried. If this will not work for 1 year, then I will stop it. But luckily, within few months naman, 6 months, it works. So, kaya ganun. But the reason why I pursue it for 5 months na wala akong kita, kasi um, that is the reason why I came here and to start a business. Kumbaga, if hindi ko to ginawa, so kumbaga walang reason yung pag-uwi ko. So, ginawa ko is for binigyan ko ng limit yung business. If this will not work for 1 year, since kaya pa naman ng fund ko, the time, I will stop it. Then, go back to work to abroad to another um, to save money again, to start again.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. May nagtatanong din, sir, how long it takes to take back the ROI for that business?
Okay. Siguro, for me, nabalik ko na for, I think, within 2 years or 1.5 years, 2 years. Especially pag may mga suppliers ka na nagpapaterm sa'yo, mabilis na lang yun. Kasi, um, mas marami kang masisell na products, marami kang profit eh. Especially pag nagpapaterms na sa yung supplier, hindi mo kailangan ng additional fund na eh. Kumbaga, halimbawa, nagpa-terms na sa yung supplier ng 500,000. So, yun is a big help. Makakuha ka ng profit doon kahit wala kang additional fund. Kumbaga, yung initial fund mo na nilagay mo sa business plus yung term na binigay sa iyo ng uh, suppliers, so you combine it, you will have a big profit, right?
Okay.
So, within 2 years, kaya mong bawiin yun. As long as yung area mo is saleable, kaya mong i-market.
At least we have an idea already. We have another question here, sir. Ask ko lang if mas okay VAT or non-VAT for startup.
Depende naman eh. Kasi sa akin is VAT eh, vatable. Yung kinukuha naman ng BIR is yung um, profit mo eh. Doon sila kumukuha ng tax eh. So, pag malaki nga yung sales mo but you have naman the purchases records, so yung difference nun, eh, yun yung kukumpitan ng tax. And then, I think most of the hardware business, they require to be VAT, to be the VAT registered. Kasi medyo kung nga yung capital niya, medyo malaki. So most hardware businesses, but
Okay, sir. Moving on. Another question is the POS application online or real time?
yes, it's online. Actually, nakikita ko uh, this time kung ano yung mga lumalabas doon sa shop. Kumaga, when they enter it, kung ano yung bili ngayon, automatically mababawas dun sa inventory. So, alam ko daily kung ano yung mga lumalabas na items, magkano yung lumalabas na items, magkano yung sales, magkano yung nababawas, then next day, nagsisend sila ng mga low stocks notifications. So, you will have an idea kung ano yung mga priority mo to order.
Okay. Yeah. We still have few questions here. So moving on to the next question. Sir Romer, ask ko lang, sir. During the time of starting your business, have you encountered, sir, yung namamasko na hindi pa buwan ng Kapaskuhan?
What do you mean po by that? I mean,
Diba?
nag-solicit, ganun?
Ah, okay.
Mga ganong solicitation,
Okay, ano ko, sir,
sige.
clarify ko. Namamasko na hindi pa buwan ng Kapaskuhan from the government employee or sabihin natin diretsa na alam na naman natin yung galawan sa atin sa Pinas. How do you deal
Okay.
with them and your strategy as well? If mayroon lang naman.
So far, for 3 years of running the business, wala naman po akong na-encounter na ganun. Ganun, sir, sa hardware business ko. So far, wala naman po. Luckily.
Okay. Yeah. Next question, sir. Do you look forward to registering your business as a corporation in the future? Since at the moment it's under sole proprietorship, given the benefits of corporation, such as limited liability.
Siguro uh, I will think about it po later on because from now it's sole proprietorship po. So I think better din na to incorporated because there's a big potential pag growing na yung business mo eh. So I will put it as an option later on siguro.
Okay. Yeah, for your opinion, sir, is it okay if the location is along the highway but near the river?
Near the river. As long as high traffic naman po siya is daanan ng tao, walang problema po dun. Pag along the road pa, mas maganda po yung kasi accessible siya. Madadaanan siya ng mga mga passers-by, mga commuters. So, kumbaga visible yung shop mo or store mo sa tao. As long as maraming dumadaan po dun, it's okay po.
Okay. And as you have mentioned earlier in your presentation, sir, one of the requirements for the business permit is also the fire permit?
Fire permit, opo.
Yeah. So,
requirement po yun.
Ano yung sir? Ano yung mga requirements na hinihingi ni municipal for you to comply the fire permit?
Fire permit, dun po siya kinukuha sa Bureau of Fire Department sa area nyo. Nag-require lang naman sila nung fire extinguisher. At least meron ka nun. And then, at yun lang po, ma-inspect nila. Yun. Basically, yun lang po yung ginagawa nila. Ma-inspect nila and then mag-provide ka ng fire extinguisher.
Every when yung inspection nila, sir?
I think before every renewals, nag-inspect po sila. Before mag-renew ka, requirement nila na mag-inspect sila bago kanila ma-releasean ng fire permit.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Yeah, there's an interesting question here. Sir, if you don't mind, at the time of your hardware business become sustainable, how much is your average profit per month? Even just a ballpark figure.
Sorry, question, right? Siguro in digits na lang po sabihin ko, right? Wala nang specific.
Okay.
Profit, I think pwede siyang maglaro ng 5 digits, mga ganun. 5 digits a month.
Okay. At least may idea kami. Pero pa sir, may tanong pa dito. Yung sa mga products...
Something 6 digits pwede.
5 to 6 digits.
5 to 6 digits.
Okay. Siguro depende sa location, sir, no? Kung talagang daanan siya ng tao and
yes,
you have established your customers already.
Opo.
Yeah.
6 digits, kayang-kaya po yun sa hardware.
Okay. Next question, so yung sa mga products po na slow moving and reach its expiration date, how you usually deal with it to avoid too much loss due to items not sold, and if the supplier exchange it to a new one without any additional cost?
Yes po. Actually, may experience ako dyan sa isang suppliers ko na slow moving tong items na kinuha ko. Pwede ko silang ibalik dun sa kanila. Exchange lang dun sa item na mayroon din sila na saleables. Pwede po yun. As long as makakuha ka ng suppliers na ganun. Yung mga non-purchase items mo, pwede mong ibalik dun sa suppliers. Pwede mong i-return into saleable item nila.
May duration ba, sir, kung kailan mo dapat lang ibalik yung mga unsold items?
So far sa experience ko po, wala naman silang na-require sa akin. So, I think, yes, wala naman. Kasi, like, for me, yung mga bulbs ko, hindi masyadong mabili sa supplier ko ng Focus. Then, next, like, it took me already, I think, 6 months na hindi siya nabibili. So, eventually, when nagsabi naman sila na pag may mga items kayo na sa amin na hindi nabibili, pwede nating palitan ng saleable items. So, iyon po.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Yeah, we encourage everyone from our participants to please raise your question. We can also accept on the spot question to attention to Engineer Romero Saliling. Pwede rin po. Because, yes. Yeah, I think we have asked the questions already to him. So if you have any other questions, yeah, you are welcome po.
I think meron dito si Ma'am Rosen. Very welcome po, Ma'am. Nagkaroon daw siya ng college kahit paano. Yes.
Sir, may tanong ako.
Yes
Yes,
po,
sir,
sir.
go ahead.
Tawag nito. Alam mo, sir, maganda yung present mo and it's very encouraging. Pero meron type ng tao, siguro ako na yon, na natatakot mag-open ng business because probably more or less yung mindset kasi minsan is uh, parang more on paano kung natalo ako. So
Yes.
anong encouragement
I
mo, sir, sa
understand.
mga ganong tao kagaya ko na medyo mahina ang loob na mag-open ng business? Although your story is really very encouraging. You
Opo.
start from humble beginnings and then now, sabi mo, pwede nga 6 digit. Baka ayaw mo lang sabihin, sir, yung 6 digit. Pero very inspiring siya. Ano? And just a word of encouragement, sir. Baka magbukas na rin ako ng
Yes po.
Salamat, sir.
Sabi ko nga, sir, what I did is a risker type. Kumbaga, nag-resign ako, then I start a business. It's a risker type because hindi ko alam kung mag-succeed yung business eh. What if kung later in my time na nag-start ako, then I fail. So wala na akong something to fall back on, right? So ang sinasuggest ko as much as possible sa atin mga OFW, try it while may income pa tayo. Kasi kahit papano, if mag-start tayo ng business, if it will not work, at least we still have job to fall back on and try another business idea until something works for you. Pag it works for you already, then ikaw na yung magde-decide later on. You can determine when you really want to go home and focus it for good. So as much as possible, try your business idea. Mas maganda rin sana kung meron kayong relative doon na ma-delegate to manage while you are on the here working abroad para makatulong sa inyo. Kasi what I did actually it not helps me only but my family. Eventually it helps me to be financially conscious. Kumbaga hindi lang ako pati yung family ko. Kasi now they are helping me to manage my business. Kumbaga hindi na lang yung kumustahan nyo, hindi na lang yung naghihintay ng padala eh. Now yung kumustahan namin how the business is running, kumbaga yun. To the point na umabot ako sa 2 point na hindi na ako nag-send sa kanila because yung allowances ko binibigay sa kanila is very well sa hardware business. Yes.
Okay. Nabanggit mo, sir, yung sister and your parents are also helping in operating your business. So,
Yes po.
sir, ilan ba yung ideal na staff ba dapat or overheads kapag nag-operate ng hardware?
So, sa ideal, meron kang isang manager siguro mag-manage sa operational, yung in and out ng money. And then meron kang isang staff sa loob na pag may dalawang staff na pag mag-kuan ng mga customers, pag may pumapasok, mag-a-assist, pwede na yung dalawa. And then isang delivery, pwede na yun. So 4 to 5 pwede na persons. Pero nang nag-start ako talaga, ako lang yung nandoon din. I have one staff. So after 1 year, eventually, now, 4-5 na sila.
So bumili ka na rin, sir, ng L3, sir, no? Para sa free delivery.
Yes po, by grace of God, naka-provide na kami ng chariot, then sasakyan for delivery. And then kapag kuha na rin kami invest na rin kami kahit paano dun sa warehouse later on. Because I'm planning na focus on online, kumbaga online. Kasi nowadays, online naman lang yung tao, di ba? Pag order sa'yo online, and then deliver mo na right away to their home. Para lumalawak yung mo, kumbaga customer base, hindi lang dun sa mga walk-ins. At least later on, pag na kuan mo na yung online customers, least lalaki yung walang limit dun sa expansion ng business.
Okay. We have one interesting question here, sir. Sir Romer, ask ko lang ito, nag-stick ka ba doon sa policy na walang utang policy? Or mayroon ka rin hindi mapahindian, especially yung relatives or very close sa'yo, if any?
Actually, di po yun maiwasan na may utang sa'yo. Ang ginagawa ko lang is para safe ka rin, is nagre-require ako ng check. PDC, post-dated check. If ever mag-utang sila ng more than like 10,000 or more, yun, require kayo ng PDC or post-dated check para you have assurance na talagang pupundahan nila yung cheque. Hindi sila pwedeng hindi doon kasi once na hindi nila mapundahan yun, tatalabog yung cheque, there will be a problem to them. So pag yun yung idea, pag halimbawa yung mga contractors or mga mga kilala nyo na kumuan na umutang sa inyo, hingian nyo ng PDC, kumbaga. Give and take lang. Pahiramin kita, bigyan mo ka ng PDC. Post-dated checks.
Okay, so actually nakita ko yung hardware business ni Engineer Roman Sariling through his FB. That's why I messaged him to be our speaker for today. But then I know him already during our review days. So, but it's mas okay nga yung nagpo-post ka, nag-update ka sa social media.
Yes,
at least, yeah.
Kasi sabi ko nga is tumalawak yung customers base mo.
Yes. And even your potential clients na makikita talaga nila that you are offering this kind of business. Okay, so do we have any other questions from the participants? Anything to clarify the presentation ni Engineer Romer Ray Saliling? Because I think I have asked already some of the questions. We still have one here. So when you put up this business, did you put it up as a sole proprietor? So if you are partners, what are the necessary conditions with regards to shares, profit, and other factors regarding this this business operation?
Yes po. It's sole proprietor po. Start. Actually, until now, it's sole proprietor po. And,
do you have any other
idea kung partnership?
Idea for partnership, or you want to open up a business with any
siguro
partner
kung masasuggest ko kung partnership kayo is 50-50 doon kayo sa capital. Kung mag-start kayo, at least 50 kayo, 50-50. Or depende sa pag-uusap nyo kung anong mas malaking share mo, mas liit yung kanya. Then sa hatian nyo, depende rin sa shares nyo. Halimbawa, kung 70% ng capital yung nilabas niya, and then yung profit sharing nyo is 70% din dun sa profit. Pero ang sabi ko nga, as much as possible, ibalik nyo yung at least 50% ng profit nyo para at least nag-grow yung business kahit papano. So yung hatian nyo lang is dun yung 50%. So, halimbawa, ikaw 70% owner ka, siya 30% owner. So yung hatian nyo is 70% sa'yo ng 50% ng profit. Yung kanya naman is 30% ng 50% ng profit. So yun. Kumbaga, kung 50-50, edi hati kayo dun sa 50% ng profit. Then, yung the rest, ibalik nyo sa business para eventually, hindi naging stagnant yung business. Kumbaga, kahit pa paano, lumalaki pa unti-unti.
Okay. Another question, sir. Are you planning to have another branch of your hardware business in the future?
Yes po, actually I'm planning it. Later on po, pinaplan ko na yon with my wife kasi sa Manila siya based. So pag kuwan na po, kapag naayos na yung mga ayusin later on, baka in Manila po. Pag in God's grace po, sana po.
All right, so I think, we have asked all the questions to Engineer Romer Ray Saliling, and we are actually thankful for his for sharing his expertise and experiences in open up a hardware business. So thank
Thank
you
you po.
for that. Yeah, Engineer Romer
Welcome.
Sariling. And we are so honored to have you here in PI Singapore webinar. So yeah,
Welcome po.
to present the plaque of appreciation to Engineer Romer Sariling, may we call on our very own Vice SG President, Pres Blas Omanito, to present the certificate of appreciation. Hold on.
Okay, so in behalf of PICE Singapore, we would like to award this certificate of appreciation to Engineer Romer Ray T. Saliling as our resource speaker for his invaluable sites, experiences, and expertise shared with the participants during PICESG webinar entitled Balik Pinas, OFW Series Part 4, Starting Up a Business, Construction, or Hardware Company in the Philippines, and OWA, SSS, and Pag-ibig Updates and Program. Signed by Engineer Benji Torrente, Chairman for COPD, Vice Chairman Engineer Maria Diwana Losada, the second Vice President Engineer Mariel Isleta, Joey Isleta, and of course yours truly. Maraming salamat po sir and congratulations.
Very welcome po. Thank you po rin sa opportunity na binigay niyo sa akin.
Thank you so much, Engineer Romer Ray Saliling. Let's give him a virtual round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So yeah, maybe we have our first group photo with our first speaker. Sir Cyril, pahirap na lang po.
Okay. Pwedeng ano muna, yung speaker and ang picturean natin. Sir Ray. Ayan. Okay, ano nang next natin?
Okay na sir, yung group photo.
Group photo, wala pa. Sir Cyril, ikaw ba kukuha? Okay. So, ako na kukuha. Baka pwede nating buksan yung ating mga magagandang. I think I have 2 pages over here. So, huwag
Okay,
huwag kayong magsasawang mag-smile. In 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I think I will go with the next page. Next page. 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. Ayun. Thank you, Sir Benji.
All right. So once again, thank you, Engineer Romer Ray Saliling, for supporting the PICE Singapore webinar. All right. So
Welcome po.
yeah. Moving on to the next part